count दे दे हमको.
We are, yeah, we are live. There
And
is
we're
no need for
live.
count.
Let's go. Welcome to Small Talk. Is that a good intro? Is that a good intro?
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
think so.
this
I
is
think so. It's a good
actual
start.
small talk.
Yeah.
This is perfect.
Yeah. Makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah. Let's
So,
go, Krishna.
guys, welcome to Small Talks. For people who are joining us for the first time, welcoming you to the set. We today have Munz with us, who's not only like a creative head, has headed a lot of organization as far as design, funky design goes, but is also a musician himself. So that's a very different combination. I think this is the first time we are getting somebody like him on the conversation. So super excited to have him on the pod. Also, what is Small Talks, right? It is a medium where we call interesting people like Munz on the stage, ask them their journey, ask them the secret hacks on how do you crack it faster compared to everybody else. So yes, that's Small Talks for all of y'all. Thank you for tuning in. With this, I am kind of handing over the mic to Munz for a quick introduction about himself.
Hey, thank you so much, guys. Thank you for calling me for this podcast, first of all. And yeah, excited to be here. And I am Munz, been in the design scene for 13, 14 years now. I also have a music band. I think you covered everything. I don't have anything else to say, but yeah, very excited to be here.
Yeah.
So, with that
So,
excitement, Krishna,
once I did,
okay, okay,
yeah, I wanted
okay,
to
you go,
open.
Krishna.
Let me take the first
You
one.
go, you go. Go,
Yeah.
go, go.
So, once I was just doing some study about you, and I
Mm,
realized that you've kind of, been brought up in Kannur. What we
yeah.
wanted to understand is like, how has your upbringing in Kannur influenced your journey of becoming a creative head? Are there any
Mm.
specific experiences from your hometown that have shaped this creative vision which is there today?
I think everything, like, whatever I am right now, wherever I am right now, it's all because definitely where I'm coming from. First of all, my family, also my native, my town, my village. That's what made me who I am, and where I studied also. All my life, I studied in Kannur only. For the first time, I traveled outside Kannur was to get a job. So till then, I was at Kannur only. Uh, it
Hmm.
influenced me just like for anybody for that matter. It definitely influenced me, good things and bad things for sure. One of the biggest problem for me to the problem which I faced was the communication, as in the language barrier, right?
Hmm.
It was impossible for me to speak in English. It was impossible for me to, even now, I can't even speak English properly. I have those insecurities, coming from that Malayalam medium, studied in Malayalam
Hmm.
medium all my life.
Hmm.
Uh, still have that insecurity, but I think I'm managing it now. Hindi still an alien language for me, but yeah, man. So far I survived, so I think I can survive rest of my years also. So somehow it's going. But Kannur, I'm coming from a village, and we have a lot of folk elements happening in our design, in our music,
Hmm.
in the way we talk, our intonations, our local language. It's very unique is what I know, and that has definitely influenced me, especially on my music. uh, the band is called the Downtrodden for a reason, and we have a devotional art called Teyyam
Hmm.
that has influenced me a lot. I have 5 Theyyam tattoos on my body, and the band, the Downtrodden has a mascot called Potin, and that is a Theyyam. So, and also my politics also, I think, uh, because Theyyam usually deals with the theme of injustice and
Hmm.
questioning the authority, disrupting the default, those kind of things, and that has influenced my politics also. That has influenced my lyrics writing also. And yeah, and the colors you see in Theyyam, like, bright contrast colors. And
Hmm.
Theyyam, when if you attend Theyyam, it touches all your senses, as in there will be chendamelam happening, there is like, chenda banging happening, so
Hmm.
your sound is sorted. And Theyyam comes and touch you and talk to you, and that touch sensation is also there. And Theyyam applies a lot of face paint and haldi and everything, so there is
Hmm.
some smell also happening there, so it's like a visual treat. And there is like fire, and like Theyyam does its own movements, and so it's like a visual sound, everything together. Definitely, it has influenced me. And all my childhood, I've been seeing that, hearing stories from grannies and granddads about, uh, folk stories, and that has
Hmm.
definitely. And so, Kannur made me the person I am.
Makes sense.
So, Munz, my first question was on a similar lines, right? Because you come from such a diverse and rich culture.
Hmm.
What is that core memory from your childhood that still, is a very much alive in you as of today also? And it's just like, it just happened yesterday. You feel like, oh, it just happened yesterday. What is that one memory?
So many things coming to my head. Good ones and the bad ones, for sure. I think one of the thing really stayed with me is, I think the turning point was, when my friend told me that I could sing for the first time. I think that changed my life. Right. I mean, even now here you can see my name as Munz TDT. That TDT stands for the downtrodden. And music has played like a big role on me. But the turning point was my friend, my neighbor. His name is Shani, and Shani uh, came home. We supposed to go for a cricket match or something like that, and he was waiting for me outside. And I was taking a shower. I didn't know he was waiting for me outside. And this guy, mm, he knows me since I was 3 or something like that. Like we've been thick friends. But he had no idea that I could growl, because I never growled in front of anybody or even sang in front of anybody. So whenever I take shower, I sing. So I was that day, for some reason, I was growling. I was growling a song. And after I come out of the bathroom, then he's like, the first thing he said is like, "Dude, I think you can growl." And initially, I thought he was making fun of me. Then he stopped me and said, "Dude, I really think you can growl. I think you should actually think about it." I think that completely changed my life. I mean, the reason I came to Bangalore is to to be part of the band. And design is not something which I have chosen. It chose me, right? It completely, because I started my career as a photographer. I had no intention to go to design at all. So the reason I came to Bangalore is to be part of the band. I was looking for a job that I could do. I tried being a photographer. I couldn't find a job. I got into an agency. Then from there, I started assisting a designer. That's how I got into design. So I think the core memory that I have is that. Maybe not the core memory, but maybe I want that to be my core memory, because that changed my life, man. So I owe him for that. So when you asked me, that just came to my mind, so I'm just putting it out there.
I think
Now that we're
growling is
already on the band, so
sorry,
just
Krishna, just one
have
point.
one layered question on this only. Acha,
Yeah.
bole.
I was just saying that growling in India is not like a thing. If you go to Eastern Europe, or like Nordic country, it's a big culture, right? In there from their upbringing. But in
Yeah.
India, to do something like this is a very unique thing. And I hardly know, like 4 or 5 people in my life who can do good job at this, and you're one of them. So I
Thank you.
think this is very different thing, and I'm
That is
glad you
also
also did.
that is also because I'm coming from Kannur, by the way. We are very we are very political, as in like politics is there in our blood and everything.
Hmm.
So even when I was a kid, we used to go for protest and strike, and we growl there actually, like "Inqilab Zindabad." It's basically growling only, right? So that is there in our blood, man. Sorry, I cut you off. You were saying something.
No, no, this was the whole point, but I think this is the
Yeah.
essential part of it that, and I think I answered the question that why it's in the culture of Kannur and
Yeah.
where you come from. Yeah, Krisha, go on.
So just to adding to the growling aspect only, right? How are you navigating, such two contrasting worlds, right, of metal and corporate branding? Do these reels even ever intersect in unexpected ways?
Absolutely, because it's process wise, it's basically the same thing. It's not two different thing. Like when I write music, you have an idea and you need to shape it
Hmm.
somehow, then you need to give a form to it, and then you need to show this to people, then you get the reaction, right?
Hmm.
That's music for me.
Hmm.
And design is also something like that only. You have an idea and you're putting that together, then you're showing to some people, and then you're getting the reaction. The only difference is that music doesn't have any kind of a goals for me, in my context. By the way, for me, I don't have any kind of a goal apart from the fact that I need to express myself, or I need to express a concept. Whereas in design, it has an agenda. It has to communicate something. It has to sell something, right? Or
Hmm.
it needs to work. Music doesn't needs to work. Even if I do something my own, and I can call it my own music, right? I don't have to answer to anybody.
Hmm.
But whereas in
Yeah.
design, when I'm working for a company, it doesn't matter how beautiful it is or how unique it is. If it's not really
Hmm.
working, then it doesn't have any purpose. That's the
Yeah.
main difference there. But in both of this thing, I'm expressing things. So that way, for me, process is the same.
Basics. Hmm.
Yeah. But to be very honest, it's for example, Harish Shivramakrishnan from Cred, Agam. I have no clue how he balancing this act. I have no
Hmm.
idea, because his band is like a very very active, famous band. He has like gig almost every week or every month. He has like couple of gigs happening, and his position at Cred, right? And he is leading the entire
Hmm.
design and marketing and everything for that company. So I have no clue how he is doing it. In my case, it's different because my band is not like a we don't do
Hmm.
too many live shows, we don't do too many albums, or we are not that active in the standardized terms, right? So that way,
Hmm.
I'm chill, because for example, tomorrow we have an album listening party happening in Kochi, and we are releasing an album after 10 years. The last album we have released in
Wow.
2003, right? Now
Are
we
we
are
announcing this on Small Talks exclusively?
no, it's all out there. We have released a song already from that album. Now we have one more single with the music video coming.
Hmm.
And we have done one
Fancy.
album listening party in Bangalore. It was successful. Now we are doing one in Kochi, and that's happening tomorrow. So that's why I'm here in Kochi right now.
Fancy. Also, Munz, you should definitely show the studio to the audience,
It's
like a
not my
quick
studio, it's
view.
my bandmate Sushin Shyam's studio. He's a music
But a very fancy studio, guys.
Malayalam. It
Must
is.
have a
It is
look.
actually. I'm not sure whether I'm allowed to show this, but yeah, I'm doing it anyway. So it's a very fancy
Yeah.
studio. Yeah, his name is Sushin Shyam. He's pretty big in the Malayalam South Indian
Hmm.
movie industry. So I'm at his place.
Fancy.
So, Munz, I have a question on something you said earlier, right? So,
Mm,
with the corporate design and music, right? While
mm,
one is a self-expression, one is a more of a outcome-driven or a
yeah,
business-driven.
yeah,
In your
yeah.
head, how do you balance this out? Because one is to express what you feel,
Mm,
and at second, creative. There is this saying in corporate, okay, we can all be creative, but is it gonna drive the business metric? And I'm asking you because you have been in one of the hottest startup that India has ever seen, right? Dunzo.
Hmm.
Yeah.
It was a poster boy at some point. So how did you balance in your own head?
See, I had that clarity very early in my career. I think even before I was getting into design, I think I had that clarity that, hey, I'm not here for art. This is this is something close to art, but this is something which I like to do. I mean, I'm not good at anything else but this. So I'll choose this. This might sound very boring and old school, but that's the reality, man. I mean, I chose design because this is something which I know, this is something which I like, and this is something I can make money.
Right.
Right.
Hmm.
So, and combining all this is like a really sweet spot for me. Right. So for me, if you take one of this thing out of this, I don't think I will be doing this. If you take my salary away from my design, I don't think I'll be sitting in a corner and designing because it's my passion. I don't think so, to be very honest. Right. But I'm good at this. I know this. I like doing this, and it gives me bread and butter, which is great. I can take that resources, put that into my music, and that is also happening. So for me, it's like a really good, balance. I usually don't try to put myself as an artist in the office. I don't try to
Hmm.
find my life purpose in office. I don't take this too personally. I used to, when I started my career, I used to take everything so personally. I used to think that whenever people giving me feedback, I used to think that my world is crushing on me. I'm not good. I'm not. They are all being very critical to me. I used to take this very personally, but not anymore. I don't try to satisfy the artist inside me in the office. For that, I have other projects. Right. In office, I make sure this thing is working. All right, this thing is working and I'm doing the right thing. So I have that clarity, man. I'm not there for an art competition. Art competition is happening outside the office. In the
Hmm.
office, no matter what we say, we are there to sell something, right? And if I'm not able to do that, then who am I? What is my purpose? They need to, if they are hiring me, if my designation is like the chief happiness officer, or like, uh, you know then it makes sense. Otherwise, I have a my purpose is to sell this thing. I need to do that, so I have that clarity. So I'm very chill
Hmm.
that way. I'm very chill that way. I work for the businessman. Imagine I go to Dunzo. Definitely, like when you're
Just
working, you usually, I mean, your personal things will definitely go inside, and artists are basically sensitive, egoistic people, and those kind of things will happen for sure. But still, imagine I go to Dunzo and I start doing things my own way because I like so. You know that I mean, that wouldn't do anything good for Dunzo, right? So I try to separate this usually.
But
Sorry,
so
saying.
no,
just
no. I mean,
wanted to ask you.
but Trisha, before you ask something, now I just have something to say. Matlab, before you ask a next question or a follow, this has to be the most honest answer somebody has given on this passion thing, right? Because people tend to confuse passion, work. They think ki where work is, you need to be passionate, and your work is your life, right? So I think this is the most honest answer I have heard from someone who has seen heights in life and in like career also. So this was
I
actually
think
a
if you
brilliant
ask
answer.
any designers, if you ask any designers who are 30 plus, I think they will give you honest answers, man. I mean, at least these days, the kind of conversation I'm having with designers, everyone is trying to be very honest about this thing,
Yeah.
right? Like, I also think if you're good at something, this passion is something. I don't know, man. Like, I know some of the designers who are not at all passionate about design, and they are brilliant when it comes to design, right?
Right.
And I know so many passionate designers, and they are very bad when it comes to design. So yeah, I don't think, but if you can mix both, man, good for you. But it can work the other way also. Like, I don't think I never seen, I mean, maybe it might sound wrong, but I don't I never seen anybody coming and telling me like, I'm so passionate about HR, or I'm so passionate about accounting, and is that a bad thing? No, I mean they like their job, they are making money, they are happy, right? They are doing the right thing. So at the end of the day, that's what it matters. And now I have the courage to say that I'm see, design is not like my passion, but I like doing design and pays me. So
Yeah.
So, is it safe to say, Munz, that crazy is a skill set which design people need, or no?
I don't think that also, right? Like I used to believe that, by the way, Krishna. Like I used to act crazy because I thought that is like something which a designer need. I used to dress up certain way. I used to act different
Hmm.
way. I used
Hmm.
to think that designers should not agree to things. You should always defend your design. You should always you know like, yeah, designers are crazy, man. You need to make people say that, then only you are. I used to believe all this kind of thing, but
Hmm.
I don't think so. Like you can be
Hmm.
whatever you want, and you can be really good at design also. And to be very honest, even at Dunzo, right, like the kind of designers I work with, we have all kind of people in our team, like crazy people, like extroverts, introverts,
Hmm.
all kind of people in our team. Some people are good, some people are bad. It's fine. Right, you can be yourself and still be a good designer or a bad designer, or whomever you want to be.
So,
Yeah.
Munz,
Munz,
Vikas
we
has
have
said,
some crazy questions for
yeah,
you today falling in.
Okay.
You're taking
this is
that.
the first
Acha.
one.
People are constantly just putting down questions. So we'll just
Okay.
have to choose a few because we can't kind of pull up all. But
Okay.
thank you for asking so many questions. We'll try and answer
Are
those
people
for you.
watching this?
Sorry.
Sorry?
People are watching this, is it?
Yes, yes. There are live people with us. So we are getting live questions right now. This is the
Okay.
first question which Jay has kind of pulled up from the lot. So thank you guys for
Okay.
all the love.
Okay. Lovely. Let's go. What's the question?
Okay,
The
I
one I'm
would love to know your design inspiration. Vikas has asked.
uh what's my design inspiration? I don't think design inspiration is just just one thing. I think design inspiration is your influences you get on a daily. See, I'm not trying to make like a very cool answer here, right? Like I don't know what my design inspiration is. um I thought I'm not doing this right. Like whenever people ask me like what's your design inspiration, I don't have like a definite answer. And I used to think that oh, maybe I'm not a good designer, that's why I don't have like a one single answer for it. I think everything that we see, I get a lot of inspiration from music into design, right? For example, how loud my design needs to be, how subtle my design needs to be, what needs to be in the front, what needs to be in the back, what how many layers it needs to have. Those kind of things coming from music, I think. As I told you, my color inspirations and colors in general, maybe it is coming from my hometown and the kind of art I see, Theyyam and everything. Maybe that's where it's coming from. And everyday life, when you see something bad, that is bad, but you don't know why it is bad. And when you see something good, it's good, you don't know why it is good. So it's just like that. For example, now when I'm talking to you, I have like a MIDI keyboard here, and the logo of that keyboard is placed in certain way. I think I'm just looking at it, I'm not seeing that as like a design inspiration, but it is definitely inspiring me, right? And this will definitely come to me when I'm placing the logo next time on
Hmm.
my design. So I don't think it's just one thing, it's multiple things. And your regular things, I work with a designer called Mohammed Sajid. I still works with him on multiple projects. And one thing I learned from him is that every day when he comes and sits, no matter, dude, I saw this for like 6 years with him. All right, the first thing he does, he cleans his laptop, He opens some browser, and he goes to Behance for, you know 10 minutes. Then he goes to Pinterest for 10 minutes. Then he goes to random feeds for 20 minutes. And he done that religiously every day for those many years. And that is something which I picked from him. I never used to do this, but after now, before I do any kind of a project, or even before I get into any kind of task for that day, I try to sit and browse, as in trying to find something which moves me, some good projects, some good designs. I try to look at it. I don't know what I'm getting out of it. It's not like referencing, it's just looking at good things, bad things. I think it trains your eye and your brain. So that is something which I does. He asked for design inspiration. I don't think I answered that, but yeah, take it
But
from there.
this answers the question
No,
as
you
to
did, right? Every little bit is inspiring you, right? You've kind of tried and given your journey of thinking about it. So I think kind of that is what inspires you in a certain way to design what you've designed. Now
Wow.
that we are on design inspiration, you have kind of designed some of the trending designs in the space, right? Uh, which has been your most favorite project of all time? Like, you think that this was, like, say, the top, not even top three, this was the best.
So at Dunzo, it was never a one-man show. We had like
Hmm.
amazing talent there.
Hmm.
Bunch of us working together. Every project. I mean, I don't think I can just um, probably in those many years I would have done only one or two projects just by myself. Everything else is
Hmm.
collaborative, right? So
Even
I'm
if
not
it's a
saying,
team project, if there
yeah,
was like a favorite which you have, even if you all did it
definitely
as a team.
there was many. I think one of the thing which is coming into my head is the Dunzo Universe project. So
Hmm.
mascot at that time, mascot is something. It was in the past. Like nobody does mascots and everything. Then we were like, okay, let's do something old school, but let's see how it works
Hmm.
out. We
Hmm.
wanted to put we wanted to create one mascot for Dunzo.
Hmm.
Then one mascot went into two mascot, three mascots. Then we had like a mascot universe. Then later
Hmm.
at some point, these mascots started interacting each other. They started making so good thing is that we have given like a strong story to these guys, as in like where they are coming
Hmm.
from, what food they like,
Hmm.
what would they do in certain situation, what's their height,
Hmm.
what kind of shoelace they have,
Hmm.
etc, etc. So because we had like such a strong story for these guys, each character is different from each other, so when they interact, I can't even believe that we made these characters and we can't even interfere in it because they have their own you get what I'm saying? For
Hmm.
example, we have Danya and we have Hari.
Hmm.
Uh,
Yeah.
and Danya is more like a badass. She's taller and she don't like cheesy things. And Hari is more of an emotional guy. He cries a lot and he likes dancing. He moves. When there is a fight, Danya is the one who goes and protects him and everything. So they have these kind of a quality. And when we are writing script, I can't make Danya dance because Danya, her characteristics is not like that. So suddenly I can't even interfere there.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
all these characters are interacting each other, playing together. It had its own set of rules and guidelines which I was actually standing
Hmm.
outside and seeing this. So that was that entire project is something close to me. So that really, because that has become like a face of Dungeons marketing and branding as well, right? And I think that is one of the project which I really really love. Then how that thing had played in different platforms. For example, how these characters started coming on our product, on our app, how they are coming, and what is their purpose being there. It's not just showing Dunzo has a mascot. They have a certain purpose. For example, once you
Hmm.
place the order on Dunzo, then rest of the screen, your track order experience is these characters coming and telling what exactly happening at certain
Yeah.
stage in
Yeah.
your order. So yeah, so I mean, think about it, right? I mean,
You
we
won't
start.
believe, like, whenever I used to order from Dunzo, I used to wait, go back, look at the story, what is happening, because there are icons which are kind of, playing and there's like a theater
Yeah,
show going on in that user journey where you ordered like a milk packet, but that entire journey is very attractive, right? Even if you're on the road, it's just entertainment for you. Oh, acha, now this is happening.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, we got inspiration definitely from Amazon. Amazon, whenever there is an
Hmm.
error, they show
Yeah.
their puppies and dogs, right?
There's
I
a
mean,
puppy.
inspiration came from there. I mean,
Hmm.
just because you're showing a puppy doesn't mean that people won't be pissed off on an error state. But even if they're 0.5 percentage less pissed off, that's a win, no? Right. And also, when we used to work at free
Hmm.
charge, once you recharge from free charge, when you do your phone recharge, there used to be a not just for recharge, I think for every success we used to show a rocket. So it's like a 2 3 second
Hmm.
3 4 second animation. It's like rocket
Hmm.
has this fire in the back and it's burning and it goes. Okay, we used to have users
Yeah.
coming and doing recharge for 1 rupee every day just to see this rocket animation. I think that actually gave me like a
Amazing.
inspiration, not inspiration, like that
Hmm.
gave me an understanding that how delight experience affects the business also. It is not just for your portfolio, it is not
Hmm.
just for your satisfaction, it is really making impact for users and the business, right? So I think, yeah, I mean, sorry, you were asking about my favorite project. This is one of the project. And uh, do universe project, we have also done a creative where all the mascots are coming together, not just Dunzo's mascot, like the Onida guy, the Amul girl, the Nirma girl, the Sun Feast, you know, everybody like coming together in just one creative. It was an isometric view, and they are all having a birthday party. I guess they are no, they are having a friendship day party bash in their home, and we even shown Sun Feast Sun in that creative. So there are like 20 30 mascots in it. It was just supposed to be a Instagram post, and we have done that, and that gave us a lot of organic so-called virality. And I got that creative on in my RWA WhatsApp group, in our home community WhatsApp group. My relatives sent that to me and saying that, hey, can you spot all the mascots and everything? And I'm like, wow, this is win. So yeah, that is one of my favorite projects now.
But that's so cool, yeah. Matlab, getting that, thing from your people, is something else. When they use it and they say, okay, okay, this is interesting. You really like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Also, like when I'm in Bangalore, right? Dunzo, we see Dunzo partners and Dunzo hoardings and everything. It's fine. But when I go to Chennai or when I go to Mumbai, when I go to
Yeah.
Delhi, uh, then I see a Dunzo partner there,
Yeah.
and and the logo which we have created and the mascot that we have created, as in like that. I have said this before also, that rounded corner in that logo, it was our decision. If we made that corner into this, it would have been this, but we made it this, that's why it's this. So I feel like I'm part of that city also, even though I have no connection with that city, but feels like I'm part of that city because there is something in this city which is gone from my brain and my friend's brain, and we as a team together, which i which I really love. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Krishna, you were showing a question, Kya? Yeah.
uh yeah, incorporating classical vocals into Maharani, what was the process collaborating with Team Krishna? Well, my band, we have tried breaking the stereotype wherever possible, even in the early days. For example, our first album is called How Are You, We Are Fine, Thank You, right? And we are a metal band. So usually metal band album names are like Blood of the Skull of the you know
Yeah. Yeah.
we were like, check that, we will do things our own way. And yeah, and so similarly, we featured Baiju Dharmajan, another Carnatic guitarist, on one of the track in our first album. So for us to do a track with TM Krishna, it was not planned before. We have something called moonshot sheet where we write some of the impossible things we know for sure not gonna happen. We simply just write it down. One of the thing was uh, mm, uh, uh, get Zakir Hussain on one of our song, and get Anushka Shankar for one of our song, and TM Krishna was one of the line item there. And we always thought like these are like impossible dreams, and this time when we were making the album, we just, Maharani song was already written, and we just pinged him and asked him, like, we have a song called Maharani, and it's dealing with Palestine Israel issues and everything, like, do you want to look into it? And he was so kind and sweet enough to say yes to it, and that's how it happened. And with TM Krishna, that guy is even though he's a Carnatic musician, he's way too metal than any of us combined. As in, like, he's living the metal life, as in his activism, the what he stands for. He's such an amazing personality. We are not even metalheads compared to him, to be very honest. So I think even before the music aligned, our politics has aligned. So that way, it was very easy, and collaborating with him was crazy, man. To be very honest, we had to reject TM Krishna's couple of demos. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, think about that, right? Like, my appa thinks this guy is a god, and I had to reject something which he sent. So I mean, we had to reject it not because it was not good or anything. It was not just fitting into the song, and I had to. And TM Krishna was keep on asking me, like, can you tell me, like, what exactly you want me to do? And I'm like, I was telling Sushin and my bandmates that, imagine giving music notes to TM Krishna saying, "Hey, why don't you sing like that?" That'll be hubris. But he was so humble. He was so kind to work with us, and kudos to him, man. Like, him working with a metal band like us, it's crazy. So
Yeah.
crazy experience.
So Munz, I have a question, right? So since I have seen, bunch of your podcast, and I know, like, how your journey started. You also mentioned it started from like to do something, to make money.
Mm.
And so, like when you started, if you can remember, what was the success, metric for you, like making certain money, and how it has the definition of success has evolved in last 15 years on a personal level for you.
I don't think it changed a lot, because for me, being happy without too much anxiety uh, is something which I always chased. To be very honest, it was never about money. It was about money also. Money because I want certain mental peace. I
Yeah.
wanted to take care of my parents. I wanted to take care of my music. I wanted to take care of myself. You know, that was the inspiration and fire, to be very honest. It was never about, okay, if I make this much money, then it's good. Because I just like how I told you before, right? Like, I got that clarity little early, because my first salary, I mean, it's supposed to be 3,000 rupees, and I got only 1,500 paid. And at that time, my only wish was, okay, if I had 3,000 rupees, if I get my full salary, then I'm sorted, right?
Yeah.
Then this 3,000 went into 30,000, but situation was almost the same. I mean, my PG is slightly different, my bed sheets are slightly different, but things are always the same. Like, I'm not able to meet the end of the month, like. So chasing money was just to be in a zone where I feel like, okay, I don't have to worry too much about money, right? So that was the thing. And success metrics is always about just one thing, man. Whether it's music, whether it's design, it's just one thing. Like, is people liking what I'm doing, like, or is it just in my head? Maybe I like something, and maybe only I like it. That's my biggest fear. I think the moment people say, dude, I'm not able to relate to you, I think that's when I need to stop. Till then, I'm chill. That's what I think. So I don't have success metric as such. Things needs to work. That's all. Things needs to work. If I'm doing a design, it needs to work. If I'm making music, I need to like it. The moment I'm not even liking it, then that's the end. So don't have like a really good success metric for myself. Maybe I need to think about it. I don't have anything at this moment. So far, it's working, man. Dude, my entire life, no, nothing was like it was not coming from a blueprint. It was always about let's go with the flow. Let's see how it goes. If it's working, working. It's not. It's okay. So it was like that. So I'll just continue doing that.
Yeah. And I don't think we can see your gaming setup right now, but if you can talk about that setup, right? How was the idea came, and how you got into gaming, right, in the first place?
I mean, back in the days, just like any 90s kids, I used to play NFS and GTA and all of that, all the arcade games. I think after I passed +2 is when I got my first computer. And when you get computer, they usually install NFS and basic games, right? So I used to like that. I mean, I used to play 8-bit games also. So I had that thing in me. But because of my situation, I could never afford a PlayStation or a PC. I mean, I'm talking about like after reaching Bangalore when I started working when I was 22 and all of that. I don't think I could afford any, not even a laptop I could afford. It was always about the office laptops which they gave, and you can't even install a game in it. So I lost the touch with it for a long time. Then during COVID, I started spending a lot of time with myself, uh, and that time, I think I saw an ad from a gaming renting company. I mean, gaming rental place in Bangalore, and you can basically rent PlayStation, and along with it, they showed a wheel also, and I was like, oh, this is very interesting. Maybe I can just drive around with it, and maybe I could play NFS. That's how it started, to be very honest. And I started playing it, and I I really started enjoying it. As in, like, you have a wheel and you can control that thing in the screen, and started doing that. Really started liking it. Then I started renting better gear from them, but I was 100% sure this is a COVID thing, and it was just a phase. So I decided I'm not going to buy, because I keep getting into new hobbies and it never reaches anywhere. So I thought, it's just a phase. Then that 1 month went into 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, and for an entire year I was just renting things. Then I realized maybe this is not a phase. If it's going for a year, then that's how. And I'm coming from a full art background, right? I don't even know how to tighten a screw properly. So creating a rig and getting into this engineering side of things. For example, I had to build a PC. I had to go to an industrial area, buy all this material, cut it myself, weld it, and get screws. Then I realized there are different kind of pliers and spanners, and my god, I had to learn all of this. But I think it was a good trip. It happened only because it was during the COVID, and after the COVID also it was work from home and everything, and I needed something, something to uh, be in that space creatively. So I think more than gaming, I think what I really love about that thing is building it. Just like you would have seen, like some motorcycle is spending more time in the garage cleaning that, tightening this and tightening that, instead of going on the road and riding it, right? So for me, it's similar to that only. For example, if on that rig, if I'm adding like a cup holder, you know that is the trip for me. I'm like, wow, this is nice. I can put my drink there now and drive. Wow, great. Then I will keep thinking about what else I could do. Should I put the shifter here, or should I put it here? Should I put it on? Should I drive left hand drive or right hand drives? Things like that. So, and at the same time, for a person like me who in the office most of the time, coming late and always thinking about different things, I can't really put myself into a meditation and things like that. But this is I know it's a very cliche thing. Everyone says, like, surfing is meditation for me, writing is meditation for me. So I'm not saying it like that. This is literally, you have to meditate in a way that you can't really think about too many things when you're driving. It will show in the lap times, right? For example, if when I'm driving, if I think about tomorrow's task, it will show in the lap time. So you can't really do that. So for that 2 hour, 3 hour, whatever the time I'm racing in that thing, I'm cut off from the world, and that's the only way that will work. So that way, I really love it.
Yeah.
No, that's beautiful, that you don't need to meditate. And I also keep telling people this, right? People tell me they need a quieter environment, this, that to meditate. But yeah, wherever you get peace, wherever you get your calm, that's your meditation.
Yeah, 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 yeah. It is.
Yeah.
There's one very fancy question which has come in. This is the last question we're taking for the day from the audience because I think we're already running out of time. But AI so couldn't avoid. Can AI ever truly replace human creativity in music and design? And are there any tools that you're using or experimenting with currently?
To be very honest, I don't know, but my hunch is, I mean, I think, I mean, mm, I don't think I should say this, but I think yes, man. Yes. I mean, sad, but
Yes, you think
true.
yes? I
I
thought you were
think,
going to say no. Why yes?
I mean, that's what we supposed to say. That's what we all supposed to say.
Hmm.
But to be very honest, like, have you seen in the last 1 year how, I mean, when I'm reading about something, for example, say there's a new tool, I'm reading the
Hmm.
first paragraph of that tool. Okay, maybe
Hmm. Hmm.
by that, in that 1 hour, by the time I'm reading this, there is a new update already for that. Right? That's how it
Hmm.
is going. And
Hmm.
maybe, I think, yeah, like, we spoke about inspiration and everything, right? Like how inspiration is happening, it's all a remix,
Hmm.
right? Like, you know I haven't created a calculator, but I'm using it, right? I haven't created guitar, I'm
Hmm.
using it though, right? I didn't create Photoshop, I'm using it, right?
Hmm.
So I'm a product of a remix, right?
Hmm.
My inspiration is,
Hmm.
all inspiration or my basic everything is coming from which is already existing. I haven't created any of this thing, right? So similarly, I completely get the fact that AI can't, it can work with all the existing things, right? But I think that's good enough for you to make a good design and good music and stuff. Yeah, it is not created by the computer, but it is coming from what humans have created. But it doesn't matter whether it is created by human or computer, but if it's already there, if a machine can take things from the existing thing and create something new, whether it's good or bad, that's a different discussion. But the question is, do you
Hmm.
really think it can replace? I
Hmm.
think so. Music is slightly different, but at the same time, I think because I used to check the AI music which used to come like 3 4 months back. But have you heard the AI music which is coming now?
Hmm.
Crazy. I mean, we all can say, "Hey, humans are superior, and you can be never replaced." But have you seen the results which is coming from it? It's unbelievable. Whether it's good or bad, that's a different. The ethical side of it, good or bad, the quality of it, it's all different thing. But at the
Hmm.
same time, man, like, we at the like, for example, how there are bands like Tool, there are bands like, which I don't want to mention, right? But how many people are actually going to Tool and saying that, oh, this is like the peak of human creativity and talent, so let me listen to you. The other one, like, thing, it's like very mindless, but it's easy to consume, so let me choose that. That's how the world is going, no? So for those kind of things, AI definitely can replace. And design, the other, I'm sorry man, I'm keep going from one topic to another. I'll just stick to the question. uh, are you using any kind of tool for my design? Definitely. One of the thing I was really stuck with was, whenever I'm making any kind of a wireframe product, wireframe, I need copy there, right? So whenever I'm making creatives, I need dummy. Even for a dummy copy, I used to struggle a lot. Now I'm not relying on things like Gemini or Chat GPT or any other tool to put the final copy there. But there has been situation where I copy pasted a copy from there also, so I use mainly for correcting my grammar, fixing the copy, those kind of things I use. It's very basic, I know, but I never done end to end design in any kind of an AI tool. But I want to, as in like I want to be in that space, because I remember my uh, when I where I'm coming from Kannur, right? Like there used to be a lot of hand painters near my house, and they used to make the shop boards. They used to paint the graphics and everything, and they hated when Photoshop came out. They hated it. And some of the people got, I mean, they realized that we have to learn this, and they made living out of it. And those guys who complained, they couldn't make a living out of it. Again, I'm saying ethical side, what is good, what is bad, that's a different discussion. But that was the reality which I have seen. Now I feel like I'm facing the same thing when AI is coming. I'm saying that AI is a very new thing. I want to stick to my Photoshop, which is traditional. Like, I am calling Photoshop traditional now, or like, design tools traditional. Look at the irony there, right? So I just don't want to be
Yeah.
outdated.
Yeah.
Just trying in the discussion, I'm just trying to understand what exactly is happening. Yeah, that's that's what I think about design with AI, or music with AI. Yeah.
Krishna,
No, I
you have a
think you're
question?
just honest. You're just point blank honest on. No, no, I think I was just adding that you're point blank honest at what you're saying, So it's just pure bliss to the ears.
I think as I told you, right, like my 2023 New Year resolution was to be honest, and I tried that for 6 months. And I to be very honest, I tried to be honest, and
I think his power gone. There seems
Yeah,
like a
I
power.
think internet's gone. Yeah.
We'll just wait for him to join back.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm I'm so sorry, guys. There was a power cut
Thank you.
here.
Yeah. We figured.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
just assumed. We were just guessing.
I
No problem.
think this
See, this
time
is
get better.
fun. This is fun.
Yeah. Such a dramatic podcast we are having.
Oh,
So I'll
nice.
just finish my point. What I was trying to say is that
Yes. We started with a bang and
2023,
we're going to end with a bang.
2023, my New Year resolution was to be honest with myself at least, and I tried doing that. Then it kind of worked out for me. Okay, even in the office, even with my relationship with friends and family and with everybody, and I started just applying that. Not everywhere, I'm not trying to say that I'm a saint or anything, but I tried doing that. Like some of the things which we supposed to say, right? For example, AI thing, or like what's your design inspiration is, or like do you even like your job, kind of questions. I think there I'm just I don't try to impress people. Instead of, I just try to say things, and that's a problem also. Recently I went to NIFT for a talk and interacting with students, and I've done that in Kerala also with KSID, Kerala Institute of Design. There I realized that I shouldn't do that, as in, like, these kids, they are very very into about design and everything, and they are coming to me and they are asking me certain things, how to survive in the corporate world and things like that. Then I'm telling them the brutal truth. sometimes I feel like when you're giving truth, when you're trying to be honest without being empathetic, that is just you being a, an ass. So so sometimes it backfires also, but yeah.
Yeah. So Mun's last question for the day. I really wish that we had more time, but we have already shot the time. Maybe we can do a session two at some point in this year or maybe next year. But so last question, once you interact with, as you mentioned, right, a lot of young people this case, and a lot of people also reach out to say, "Ki Munz, can you mentor us? Can you give us like how you make it this big or that big, right?" And
Mm,
it can be designers or musicians or anybody from that business field.
mm,
If you are to like let's say like look back at your journey of
mm,
last 15 years, and there is somebody who's at 22 right now, and
mm.
you have to say those two or three things that maybe they can do differently versus you learned little late in your own journey, maybe those two three pitfalls they can potentially avoid.
I think I can only talk from my
Absolutely.
journey and perspective, right?
Yes.
So don't take this as like an advice, or don't even consider
And
it. I
that's why
mean,
we don't even call it advice, we just call it to
yeah,
see if it works in your case, right? So yeah.
I think the people you chill with really matters. Whether it's office, whether it's your schooling, your school, your college, your relatives, people whom people you do anything with. Those people really, really matters, because you are as good as them. Right at the end of the day, your value system, especially in the early days, your if you don't chill with the right folks, then it will take a lot of time for you to correct all those things later when you get older. I'm still doing that. I'm not saying I was fortunate enough to chill with some amazing people in my life, but at the same time I had bad apples also in that group, right? And and you get inspired with that, and you think that is right, and you go move on with your life, and later you realize, oh shoot, that's not how it's supposed to be. Then you try correcting that, but it is, whatever happened in your childhood, and it sticks with you, and it takes a lot of time for you to correct it later. Some of the thing I'm still doing it. So people you chill with really matters. Second, your portfolio. I'm talking about whether you're a musician or a designer or any creative person. Portfolio really, really, really matters. Really, really matters. You need to be a little selfish about your portfolio. By the time you enter your professional career, you should have a portfolio which is which you are really happy with, right? And if you're a creative person, being happy about something you have done is, it's a little bit of a task. So if you can at least reach that position, I think it will definitely help you. At least all the good hiring managers that I know, um, or any record labels that I know, they don't really look at your college degree. I mean, definitely there are spaces like that. As I'm saying, consider this from my context, right? More than your college degree and your experiences, what really matters is your portfolio. Can you do this thing? That is the ultimate question. Can you make this happen, right? So that is very, very really important. So you need to have a portfolio which is really covering your extremes, like where, till what point you can go. I think that should reflect in your portfolio. That's very, very, very important. Some people, I have heard people saying this to me, saying that, I know I'm good, you give me a task, I will show you. But no, 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 show us what you have done already. Like, you know in different situation, what exactly you have done, show that to me, right? So that is very, very important. So people you chill with, your portfolio, these two things really, really matters. And also, in the early period in your career, please try to invest in yourself. Don't I mean, i- if you are getting money and everything, which is great, but at the same time, you can always do that later. I mean, I'm sure your story will be very different from my story. My story was also very different. But at the end of the day, money, fame, comfort, all that thing you can definitely work on it. You can create, you can make better. But there will be a point where you're in your career where you're reaching and you're realizing that, hey, these are the things which I can't really improve on now, because that's I supposed to do that little early in my career. All right. I have a little bit of photography background, I have a little bit of animation background, and I have a little bit of music back. All these things really help me in my career. Right. If I really wanted to be just a really one good, like really good at just one thing, I could have done that. But I really believe that it's better to be above average on a lot of things than just being really good at just one thing. I have only respect for the people who are doing that. I know people who dedicated their entire career for just focusing on just one thing. That's great. But early days in your career, it's better to learn as much as possible from a little bit of everything. Then you see where exactly you want to focus. That I have given this suggestion to some people, and it actually really helped them. So that's why I'm saying this. I could be wrong, I could be anything, but this is just what I have experienced. I have more things to say, but I know we are running out of time. But yeah.
Yeah. But just to add to that, Munz, I think the last point which you mentioned, money, fame, whatever, right? Those are
Mm,
all the outcomes that can happen. That can never be the inputs that can, be produced without the right inputs. I think so. It
yeah.
sums up fairly well that first is just chill with right people,
Mm,
do great work, and everything else will follow at any stage of your career.
yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but this was actually like one of the best episodes.
Yeah.
I would say with and even I think audience absolutely loved it today. And
Okay.
this was like super fun.
Oh, thanks, man. Thank you, and thank you so much for calling me for this episode. Really, really appreciate it. I'm glad that I could join. Yeah, had fun talking to you guys. Sorry, my
Yeah,
internet is little not so great, and the power cut in between.
No, no,
Yeah,
the
but
power cut was one of the best parts of the podcast. There was dramatic effect because of it.
all right. Thank
it's
you, guys.
about how you
Yeah.
improvise, right? So once you know this, how to improvise is more important. So
Absolutely, absolutely. I think corporate job is just that.
yeah,
Moving from one point to another, improvise, improvise,
yeah,
improvise. Yeah.
yeah. But thanks once again, and really appreciate all the
Yeah.
inputs. I'm sure people will get a lot of value out of it, and they would have just had a great Saturday night for sure. And
Yeah.
hopefully we'll see you soon then.
Thanks, man. I'm going for a haircut. Believe me
I
when I
think there's
say it.
somebody who's asking for the recording. Uh, there's somebody who's
Yeah,
asking for the recording. Just like a quick update for you guys. So this is LinkedIn Live, right? So as soon as the episode is over, it will automatically be aired there. You can watch it anytime you'll want. And keep asking questions. We'll try and get Moons to answer it for you all.
Yeah.
yeah.
All
All
right.
right.
Thanks so
Yeah.
Take
much.
care. Have a
Perfect.
good
With
week.
this, let's just end it. Ending the
Yeah.
stream. Yeah.
Yeah.
Happy weekend, guys. Moons, thank you so much for doing this.
Happy